Top of the morning to you, or should I say, good evening. Hello, I am Lee Black. I am the host of Real Talk for Real Men. And so I'm live tonight. Don't know necessarily if we're going to do a show because so much is going on right there right now, but we shall see. I do have my co host, however, sitting in the waiting room. So let's bring on McMac from M Town. What's going on, McMac?
Not much, not much. Yeah, whole lot is going on.
Yeah, well, look, judging from your tone, how are you feeling tonight, sweetheart?
I just woke up, so I'm
Oh,
tired.
okay, okay. Well, look, that's understandable. For some of us, it's been hopefully a quiet Saturday afternoon. As you said, there's so many things going on. I don't know if you've tuned in. This is big Saturday for college football. It's been a tremendous day, and the premier game is on right now, which
Yes,
is the reason why I'm probably not expecting anybody else on the show because I even am tuned into it right now. This is a big one, folks. I don't know if you're into sports, but this is Alabama at Georgia. In case you don't know, that's what I'm split on. I'm actually an Alabama fan, but I fucking live in Georgia, so I don't even know who to root for right now. Big Mac, who you going for?
Oh, I don't know. Like this one right here, you can go either way, So I'll bow out of it. I'm
Man,
not gonna pick a side on that. Just keep it stirred up.
I can live with the winner of either one of these. That I just hope it's a great game. I see we got CC announced what's going on. Grown
Oh,
woman,
see,
don't try me. How you doing? Good to see you, CC. Again, in case you're joining, I have a show planned, just so you know, and I'm willing to do it if McMac wants to do it. But look, I can always give the time back because, as I mentioned, this is a big college game. It's been a great day for college football. I started watching games from 12 o'clock, ran my little errands, and everywhere I went, everybody was talking about this game coming on right now.
yeah.
Everywhere I went, all my errands, and I had on, this is a baseball jersey, but ironically, everybody was saying, well, are you watching the game? Are you getting that for the game? Blah, 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 blah. So I would suspect every sports bar and everybody's tuned in to this game. The ratings probably going to be through the roof for this game. You
Yeah.
know,
If I'm not mistaken, I think they're saying Alabama.
who's saying Alabama?
When I looked last night, I think like a lot of like the betting and everything was saying that it's going to be
No
Alabama.
wonder everybody was, even the people who live here were saying that they didn't think Georgia could pull us off, even though Georgia's 3-0, but Alabama seems to have their ticket, but Saban's not there, just so you know. So Georgia better win this fucking game. I got to say that. But Cece says, look, we can do the show. We don't need a crowd. So, hey, that's all I need to know. If it's okay, I'm down for it, even though I'm watching the game. McMac, you down to do the show?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, so we'll do a show. Hey, if anybody joined late, fantastic. So what's the topic, tonight? For many of us, the weather is changing, gladly. It hadn't quite hit Georgia yet. It hadn't hit Atlanta yet. We still dealing with humidity and, believe it or not, 90s and high 80 temps. But for a lot of people, the weather has changed, they're starting to regularly see highs of 65 to 70, lows in the 40s. I'm waiting on that to come here. Hopefully with the hurricane, I'm not wishing anybody did, but I'm hoping that it drops the humidity here. So, but I'm talking about the weather. And I call this show Pre-Cuffing Season, the forecast on love, because I believe weather does have an impact on relationships. What do you think, CC and Tasha? Do you think weather impacts relationships? And if so, if no, then the answer will be no. But if so, do you think it impacts men and women differently when you think about the weather? Cece says we're up and down in Pennsylvania. We've been getting 80s and humid. It's crazy humid here, Cece. But I like to know from you as well. Tasha, do you think weather impacts relationships? And if so, differently for men and women?
Well, I mean, yeah, we have cuffing season like that whole notion of cuffing season. Of course, it impacts it. Should it? It probably shouldn't, but it does. So when it starts getting a little bit cooler, people want to be kind of booed up. They want to do the matching holiday pajamas and everything. They want to have like those, little social media moments.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. What the crazy, what made me think about this is I'm a different person in the winter than I am in the summer when it comes to wanting company. And I don't necessarily cuff. I, you know,
mhm,
I don't want to cuff. That's just not my thing, you know.
mhm.
But I realize I am more receptive in some ways, not just in terms of winter. The weather actually impacts me even in different ways. Ironically, for some people, rain makes them, I don't know, sad or for me, it puts me in a great mood. So I want to ask you, Tasha, like even for you personally, we're not talking about boot up or anything, but I just mean like even how it affects your mood. I'm curious from day to day or season to season, does weather even impact your mood, how you feel? Are there times because of weather that you will want company or not either? Cece says, you better believe it does. Some men play all summer and want to be booed up in the winter. LOL. Yeah. So cuffing season is a real thing. It's no doubt about that. I'm not a cuffer person. I never have been, but it absolutely is a real thing. And we do our show on it every year. So we're probably a few weeks from that. But I'm curious, Tasha, are you personally impacted by weather? I mean, just day to day, week to week, or even just as weather changes, whether it snows or rains, if it's cold, if it's hot, does that impact your mood in any kind of way?
I Yeah, I would probably say yeah, it impacts my mood, like in the sense that I'm I like more cooler temperatures. I do enjoy those
Hmm.
better. I enjoy, like especially like when it snows and everything. I love when it snows because going outside and just having the deafening silence of the snow,
Oh,
how
oh,
it absorbs like all the sounds
right,
and the
right.
crispness in the air. I I love that. I don't know. It's so calming and so soothing to me. I do enjoy the rain. Like I prefer fall and winter rains as opposed to the summer rains. But that's just because more so dealing like with humidity and everything.
So
But as
you
far as it impacting me, making me want to, be around someone more or less, no, it has no impact on that.
gotcha,
That doesn't change. No.
gotcha. For me, it actually does. It's for some of the same reason, but it does impact me. Summer is too hot, humid, and sticky. And even I'm talking about when I was out there, I don't necessarily want to be next to somebody because it's weird. Because I'm more open to contact, a relationship, association, whatever, in cold temperature. And I like what you said about rain in the fall and winter versus the summer. I
Mhm.
like rain anytime, for the record, but I really love it in the fall and winter. I love those cold, rainy, real hazy days where that
Mhm.
brings some people down. My energy is at its high. I love it. And you said something about the snow. We don't get a lot of snow here, but on those days when it's raining and it's just overcast, it's just dark, I like opening my door, standing out in the rain. And that for me, Tasha, is when it's very quiet. It tends to make people slow down, and that's what I love. And it absolutely impacts my mode. Cece says, in winter, I hibernate, really don't want to go out when it's cold. I'm the exact opposite, Cece. I'm more active, I'm more alert, I feel more alive. Summer, it drags me down a lot. She says, spring rains, fall rains for me. We're very opposite in that. So, what I want to do is I want to look at, in this particular show, how weather impacts our relationship, how it break down how it plays out differently in many cases for men and women. And as we always do, we'll say if we agree or disagree. And if we have some personal experiences to share, we can definitely do that. So since it's just me and you, Tasha, it's going to be
Mhm.
all about us. You know,
Oh yeah.
anybody watching, you're more than welcome to comment. And absolutely. So we're going to talk about a few different areas of how it impacts Uh, and when I say impacts your love life, Tasha and I, for the record, full disclosure, we are not currently dating anybody. So any
Right.
of our references are going to be, retroactively, retrospectively.
Hmm.
But also, I'm sure we'll interweave how we feel, because, who knows what the future holds. So let's go to the number one, talking about how the weather affects mood and emotional energy. And I want to read something as we have time. It says women are more likely to tie their emotional openness to weather shifts. Rainy days can make someone extra closeness, cuddling, or long walks. Of course, I want to know if that's true and if it's true for you. Men often channel gloomy weather into withdrawal or distraction, TV games, the gym, rather than verbal connection. Sunshine, on the other hand, tends to boost both men's willingness to go out and their flirtatious side. Do you agree or disagree with that? And if you need me to read it again, I will. Cece says, if you're watching, take a minute to like the video. Thank you. Definitely, absolutely. Absolutely. So, Tasha, do you agree or disagree with the fact that according to this particular article, so it's not a study, that women tie their emotional openness to weather shifts and that rainy days make them want to get extra close, cuddling and long walks? You agree?
I don't know. I would say this. Not for me.
Okay.
Not for me, like, because I like for the reason I said previously, but I do think that from some of the videos from others that I've seen
Mm-hmm.
on social media, when it comes to like weather and everything, yeah, like the whole cuddling, want to get close, the
Mm-hmm.
coziness, get under a nice thick blanket, so they're all about the blankets and everything. So absolutely. And as far as like men, yeah, I could certainly see that as being true. Just some people, just some men that I know, I'd certainly would say that that's true. I don't know if it's just the sunshine just wanting them just to it's just beckoning for them to come outside, come see these streets, come be a hoe, kind of like
Ooh,
that. So
ooh, your my ooh is coming because I'm thinking of it. You're not wrong, but isn't it women that say in the summer it's they don't say that, but they say I'm outside and what's the little sayings we hear from sometimes rappers saying that it's they in the summer it's their season to I don't know they have all these little expressions because they're wearing less clothes, they're flaunting
yeah,
their bodies, so maybe that's the reason why men are more apt to get out. And Cece says
right.
true, Tasha. And I'm only saying ooh because I think it's the women's season to be the hoe in a sense. That whatever that thing is that you've been sitting in on and holding for all winter, I find that women are like, shit, it's hot. I'm gonna get to show off the results of my working out all winter and I don't have to wear as many clothes. Hell yeah, men are gonna be outside and being flirtatious because we can see you. So but I agree with both of these. I do. I do. No doubt about it. Now, like you, I I have twerks in it. I actually do like to walk out in the rain. Now, to
Hmm.
get somebody to do it with me has always been problematic,
Right.
but it doesn't bother me. Even when I'm running errands, you know how people are running through the rain? I walk. I do not mind getting wet. Now, I think obviously women have to worry about their hair. No woman probably wants to get their hair wet. No woman. The amount of
Yeah.
money that, my God, you guys spend on your hair, I get it. Obviously, I'm bald. But getting wet doesn't bother me at all. I don't run, I don't rush. It, I don't know. Again, it feels very, but again, I don't know any women that would want to walk in the rain and out those scenes you see in movies where they got a big umbrella. That probably is not realistic. So, that doesn't happen. But this cuddling, snuggling part, I do believe, yeah, that part is true. So let's go on to number two. We'll get through these quickly and easily. What about when it comes to physical affection and intimacy? Definitely want to know, CC and Tasha, what you think about this. It says that cold weather, talking about cold weather, Women may lean into physical closeness, blankets, cuddling, warm drinks, while men may express affection more through practical gestures, fixing the heat, warming up the car. Hot weather, women might become more touch averse. Don't cuddle, it's too hot. While men can still push for physical intimacy regardless, sometimes creating mismatched desires, which is me,
Hmm.
which is me. CC says probably not. Okay, Tasha, agree or disagree? We're talking strictly physical affection and intimacy. Where do you stand when it comes to hot weather versus cold weather?
Um, eh, physical affection and intimacy.
Yeah,
Oh, 100%. Don't touch me. It's too hot. Like when it's hot outside, like don't touch me. Like unless I'm right in front of some air conditioning or something and it is crank comfortable. If it's too hot, like don't touch me. If I'm sweating, please don't touch me. Because now you're creating extra friction and heat on my skin. It's too much. And I don't be wanting to sweat all like that sometimes. No.
if y'all
Mess
don't
up
know
my hair.
her, she ain't never lied. Now, she ain't never lied about that. This is a person who, summer or winter, you correct me if I'm wrong, Tasha runs her fans. She has multiple fans,
Yeah.
her ceiling fan, and she runs the air. So this is somebody, don't fuck with her when it's hot and muggy. That's a no-no. You know.
Yeah, no, that's a big one. I'm real big on like having like a good, if it's like a good consistent temperature. I say it all
Okay.
the time, 68 degrees. If it's 68 degrees,
That's too
fine, no
cold for most
problem.
people. That's too cold for
That's the
most people, Tasha.
that's the ideal temperature, 68 degrees. No more, no less. I'm good, like right in there. If that's the temperature, that's fine. But if it's too hot to where again, getting close to someone, like physically getting close to someone creates heat. And so I know for some men, yes, the idea of sweat and sex and all that. No, no, no,
Tasha, I've always
no.
said you think like a guy, so that's me, which again is against what they're saying, because it's talking about hot and cold weather. Women want the blankets, the cuddling, and I've shared this with many people. I cannot stand to sleep under big, thick comforters, the bulky covers. I don't want anybody right up next to me. But this statement, I do think may be true for a lot of people, because when I've been in relationships and it's cold, they are right under you and want the big blankets and hold me, that kind of shit. And yeah, I'm not a fan of that at all. I'm just not a fan of that. Cece says, she says, I can see that, Lee. In the winter, you want to be closer to your partner, but I don't want to be bothered all the time. So
Yeah.
I I'm I'm a big fan. I have become a big fan of having separate rooms. What do you think about that, Tasha? Is that is that going too far because of something like this, where I know I prefer to sleep alone, and you just mentioned you like a certain temperature, but every woman I've ever been with, they want that hot, and it's always been a mismatch. What do you think about the notion of having separate bedrooms?
That's increasingly become popular
Mm,
with
mm,
couples. There are
mm.
many couples that are moving towards that, like they will share the same residence, but for the sake of the relationship, they have separate bedrooms. They don't sleep together every night. Some of them don't even share the same bathroom. So
Oh
I
my
don't
God.
see anything wrong with that.
Okay, I'm heading in the right direction. CC says I only want to sleep alone if I'm angry. Damn, damn. Look, I ain't mad at you, but what Tasha just said, I'm a fan of, and it has nothing. Not gonna say nothing. It's not because I wouldn't love the person or whatever. I I do want my own individual space. having sex. Let's do all the freaky shit or whatever. We can do it in my room or your room, whatever. But yeah, I'm a big fan of that. And then you're saying sharing a room with the woman that's a whole nother conversation. You know. So again, I would imagine for her anyway. So I'm a fan of that for sure. So maybe that's what I'm looking for my next relationship. Number 3, social plans and relationship dynamics. Women tend to view weather as a cue for social activities. I don't know if you think that's true. Women tend to view weather as a cue for social. Sunny days equal brunches, fall outings, snow day traditions. They may also get frustrated if men brush these off. I'm processing this. Mind you, I'm reading this for the very first time as I'm doing this. Women tend to view weather as a cue for social activities. Sunny day brunches, fall outings, snow day traditions. They may also get frustrated if men brush these off.
Yeah.
Men may be more willing to cancel or downplay plans due to bad weather and prefer hunkering down, which can cause tension if their partner wanted shared activity. Agree or disagree?
No, that's very true. Again, everything now is about capturing those moments for social media. So yeah, it's sunny. It's let's do brunch. Let's,
Mm,
let's go. I saw a couple have a conversation about going. It's fall. She wants to go to the pumpkin patch. She wants to go to the apple orchard. She wants to go pick
mm,
apples and things. And he's like, I don't
okay,
want to do that.
okay.
And but she wants to. So you see it like kind of like play out, especially like when there's it's when it's not just couples, but when they have like families too. They have like these family these plans for the family, but it's all about capturing those,
I
capturing those
wasn't
moments.
thinking about it that way. I was not thinking about it that way. And yeah, you're absolutely right. I wasn't thinking about it that way. Cece says, I have to make my husband go out. He wants to stay at home. Cece, that's me. And Tasha, you really highlighted how true that is. And maybe this is absolutely true. I'm perfectly fine if I don't go anywhere. I'm perfectly fine. But you're right. When I think about relationships that I've been in, then even I see people, I suspect right now, on this Saturday, a good percentage of men were out because the woman. They would have been perfectly okay staying home, cutting the grass early in the morning, doing whatever with the car, boom, 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 getting home, and a man would be happy, I think, putting his feet up, watching games all day. But I think it's women that says it's too nice outside to stay in. Like you said, Tasha, it's women that keep up with when the pumpkin patches, when Halloween is coming. They know where the fucking scary house is at, and it's the right weather for this, and let's go do brunch and this and that. It is so freaking true. That's so very true when it comes
It
to.
depends.
Go
But
ahead.
it depends on what the activity is. It's football season. It's football season, right? There's a
Right,
lot of women who are annoyed, who are voicing their annoyance of football season, how
right,
long it is, how
right,
every, every Monday, every week, Sunday through Thursday, Sunday, well, damn it, every
right,
day, really, if you do college
right,
and professional,
right.
there's football on. And so they're trying to, especially if you have someone who is heavy into sports, who wants to, like watch certain games and everything, they get annoyed by how some men get caught up in that they want to kind of structure their social life, around that. And
Absolutely.
especially if there's a breakdown if she's not into sports and he is.
Right. Absolutely.
So I
Absolutely.
mean, it's really because, yeah, I bet earlier today there probably were some couples outside, and the guy probably would have been very happy because today is a phenomenal day for football, just to sit at home and watch the games. But it's September, we're going into October. It's fall. Let's go here. Let's go. Let's go there. Let's go to all these stores.
That you even said it. Oh my God, it brings back so many memories when I was married and in every relationship. My girlfriends and wife would want to ride on Saturdays to go to You know what I should do on Saturdays? The thrift stores, going in and out of malls. And anybody who know me, I hate and despise malls. But for them, it was about, it's a nice day. We've worked all week. Let's get out of the house. And I went, of course, because you have to acquiesce and, be a part of it. But I didn't want to be there.
Yeah.
I absolutely did not want to be there. I would have been fine laying on the couch. Yeah, very interesting. Cece says, for me, we used to go out a lot. We got invited to football games with other couples. Not now. He prefers to stay at home and watch. I don't do football. I am so curious, Cece, with what Tasha said, with this is the beginning of football season. So you take tomorrow, it's games on all day. Now they have games on Thursday. How do you navigate, being that you're not into that, with the fact that that's his time, especially if you're not into it? Go ahead.
They find other activities. They find other football girlfriends or football wives who are not into it, and that's when they come up with those other activities. Of going to the pumpkin patch, the apple orchard.
But are you saying going by themselves without the guy?
Right.
Okay. My niece recently says to me, this was like 2 weeks ago. She says, well, I don't understand football. And so I don't, and we had a conversation on the phone, and I was explaining to her that my sister Sherry used to hate football. And we literally one Sunday watched the game, and I broke it down. And now Sherry is as big a football fan as anybody. And so it's just one of those things where if you're going to ask me to go to the mall, go to some of those places, I'm going to try to at least share that with you so you get some part of it. And thank God there are a lot of women football fans now.
There are.
From where it used to be. So, then some people, they're never going to want to be into it. She says, and I always find something to do. I give him his space. I do. Tasha, you nailed it. I do lunch or go shopping. I love that. You know what? I love that. That makes sense to me.
It's not so much the malls anymore. The stores that, like you go to are Home Goods, Ross,
which I hate
TJ Maxx, Burlington. Those are the store, the at-home store. Those are the stores you go to. Like I went to the Home Goods store today, like this morning. I know better than to carry myself into them stores because I can't control myself. But I went into the store, and I know it can be overwhelming, but I love that. Not that I'm looking for anything. You don't go to those stores with a plan. You let the store tell you what to get. Okay.
You already know, Tasha. I fucking despise going in those stores. I only went in there because you took me in there when you was helping me find stuff for my apartment. She says, right, Tasha, those are the stores. You're nailing it. Tasha, no, I get it. I guess. I get it. For me as a man, I think I can speak for a lot of men. I guess y'all feel about that the way we may feel about going to Lowe's or Home Depot. Walking around a store, seeing an entire aisle of pots and pillows and picture frames, I could stick a fucking pencil in my eye. I don't. No. There's nothing relaxing about that. It's overwhelming, and it's just, it's way too much. She says, right, Tasha, I go to them to get ideas on different decorations for the home.
Exactly.
Cece, I like simplicity. I know what I want. Please point me to that object so I can get it and get out of there, because I don't need to see multiple choices. It's overwhelming. I never liked Netflix because when you click on the freaking page, there's Tasha knows this. I get overwhelmed. I want to go to just what I'm looking for. That's it. So
I like the options. Like it gives you like different things, and then it just it's fascinating though because it's kind of like you see the difference in people's like brains and how they like and how they work. Like yes, I'm not saying you're wrong. Yeah, it's a lot of shit in those stores. There's no make no mistake. There's a lot of shit in those stores. That's the best part about it. Like,
see,
ooh, look at this, look at this.
mm-mm, mm-mm.
I went in looking for a mug, just a mug. That's what I was looking for. I want a new coffee mug. I didn't need to go in there. I know better than to go in that store. But I could stay in there for hours, hours and
Thank
not
God.
see everything.
God bless you.
So,
God bless you. God bless you. If I needed a mug, I'm going to Family Dollar. Right. What aisle?
oh,
What aisle? You just said a mug. What aisle are the cups on? And that's it. It's that simple. Cece says, I actually changed my decorations for the seasons, bright colors for spring and summer warm tones for fall and winter. And I do know women do that for no true good reason other than just to change shit up. But okay.
now I will say the only reason why I don't do it is because I don't have like the storage space for it. But if I did, I could easily do that. But it's a lot into like the hyper consumerism, and just too
Yeah.
much like I get what you're saying, like it is unnecessary, but a lot of people do. It's fall, so some people are doing pumpkins, but then the Halloween stuff is out, so some people are getting stuff for Halloween, and then
Right.
you gotta sprinkle in stuff in there for Thanksgiving, and then some people are already setting up for Christmas, like they're buying their Christmas stuff, getting their ideas for Christmas.
Men, thank God. Uh, See, grown woman don't tell me says, Lee, you got to Family Dollar for you go to Family Dollar for everything. I really do. Family Dollar, Dollar General, and what's the other one I go to, Tasha? Dollar Tree.
Dollar Tree, yeah.
Family Dollar, Dollar General, and Dollar Tree are my main stores. If I could get my food from those stores, I would. I could. I have to go to Kroger's, but if they had groceries, real groceries. Now, Family Dollar does have some groceries, but they don't have the selection. That's all. That's all I go to. She says no pumpkins and stuff like that, just fall colors.
Hmm.
So I get it. All right. So all right, let's talk about number 4. Ooh, how about weather as it affects conflict triggers? Rainy, gloomy stretches. Women may vent feelings or look for deeper conversations during the downtime. Men might get quieter, which women interpret as distance, leading to arguments about not opening up. I do wish we had the family on here for that one because I would be curious to know from Hannah and Bert as a couple how true this is, but whether or not it's true. If of course, I want to know for CCU and Tasha, do you as a woman tend to vent your feelings or look for deeper conversations during this downtime when it's raining and those gloomy stretches, as I was talking about at the top of the show, when we get into that real fall season, daylight saving times? Is that true? And do you interpret men? Do you find that men tend to get quieter and think, okay, well, why don't you talk more? During heat waves, tempers flare. Men may get irritable faster. Women may feel emotionally drained. Couples can misread each other's crankiness as relationship issues when it's really the thermostat. Tasha, how true is this? Welcome, Demi. Good to see you, sweetheart. Thanks for popping in.
Hey, Demi. So I would definitely say it's definitely true for the heat thing, because that impact, you see that like in society. When it's super hot
True.
outside, people's attitudes and
True.
everything are it's on edge.
True.
And it is because it's hot. The smallest thing, hell, you see parking lot interactions like with people, road rage and everything, just overall crime and everything is hot. People have
Very
lost
true.
they lose their minds in the heat.
Very true.
But then I do think that there is some truth to the other side of that, to where the temperatures break or you're inside because it's snowing or whatever, it's cold. Guess what? Now you got to be shut up in the house with the person that you realize that you really don't even like. And I think that's what happens is a lot of times like it just brings to the surface that the person that you're with, you really don't have that much in common with. And now you're stuck with them. We saw that with COVID, with the whole quarantine
Very
things,
true.
like
Very
the
true.
relationship issues really got exasperated because there was no outlet. You had to be at home.
Very true.
Or, like I think about here, the last few years, like we've had ice and snow, like pretty substantial, for it to be the
Right.
South and everything. And like that whole you might have like the city where like a whole week where you can't really go nowhere like too
Right.
far. People are itching to get out of the house, like crawling up the walls because they're like they have cabin fever, like because they can't be in the house. So the man probably does shut down, like I can't take this, and then because that person is the only other person there, the woman may feel inclined to have, like more conversation. Like, shit, I ain't got nobody else to talk to. The fuck, you sitting here?
You're nailing it. Very true. As Demi said, a great points of view, and I think that is absolutely accurate. That those stretches you talk about, every pretty much city goes through that. They have that point where, like you said, you're trapped in. It's an ice storm or snowstorm or whatever, and you're with that person. And if you don't like the person, I really could see where men would be. I'm gonna keep. Kenny says this all the time. He talks about this all the time, I should say. Sometimes, as a man, you hold back things because you don't want to hurt their feelings, or certainly if you open all the way up, it's not reciprocated. So a lot of times, I think there's a tendency to just listen. You know what I'm saying? But it can be misinterpreted as, that why you don't open up to me. That is tricky. That's a very tricky one. But I absolutely agree with that. Demi says hi. Cece says hi, Demi. Cece says, believe it or not, we spend a lot of time apart at home. I don't want to be up under him every second. I think we both need our space. And now that's the wisdom from somebody being in marriage. Because again, sometimes in these new relationships, it's the opposite. They think you ought to be with each other every waking minute, under each other. And as Tasha just alluded to this, now when you're in a situation weather-wise, you realize, guess what? I really don't like this person as much as I thought I did. And so I definitely think that the weather can trigger conflicts because of that. And you said it, Tasha, in the summertime, I'm less friendly. Me personally.
Yeah.
When I walk out the door, and as soon as you open the door, it's fucking 92 degrees and the humidity's in the sun, and before I can make it to my car, I'm hot, I'm sweaty. And so from a relationship aspect, if you've been out and you're coming home and you walk in the door, I'm not in the mood for please let me get settled in, because for me at that point, I'm thinking about, I'm sticky, I'm hot, let me get a shower, let me cool down, and don't bombard me with all of the bullshit. Give me a chance to kind of relax. I literally have a routine in the summer where it's one of the reasons why I live alone, because I'm not that friendly to get out the shower, and I'm cooling down. I want the ceiling fan over me. So if I'm in a relationship, that's probably not the best time. Let me cool down. So I definitely think temperatures can flare in the summertime. And when it comes to the gloomy stretches like rain and stuff, I love it. But yeah, it can be tricky. Demi says, yes, so true, Mr. Black. Thank you, sweetheart. So, all right, let's go to number 5. Hopefully, Tasha will pop back in here. Number 5, and again, if you're joining late, Demi, we're talking about how weather impacts relationships as we are in pre-cuffing season. Number 5 is how seasonal shifts and relationship rhythm. So, winter, it says, women may lean into nesting, holiday romance, and symbolic gestures. Men might show love by doing. That includes shoveling the snow, fixing things, protecting the environment. So again, they say in the winter, women lean more into the nesting part, the holiday romance and the symbolic gestures, where men operate out of doing things. Now, in the summer, women often look to explore socially, dress lighter, and feel freer, which can spark men's protective or jealous streaks. Men may focus more on outdoorsy, bonding things like sports, barbecues, trips, and get annoyed if their partner doesn't match that energy. Agree or disagree?
I could see that. I could see that to an extent. I could see that to an extent. When I say that, I would say the for the women, for the warmer temperatures, like it said, the nesting, you're fixing up your house, we spoke about redecorating, you're getting it together, you're putting up the Christmas tree, you're hosting like those gatherings and everything. It's all about, like capturing, those different things. The man, the a previous point said like fixing like the heat, doing like
Right.
the outdoor stuff, shoveling snow. Yeah. But then on the other side, so yeah, you got the you got the warmer temperatures. Yeah, the women outside. They want to be outside. But I don't know about like the whole the male version of that, of like the of doing the barbecues, and upset that the woman doesn't want to partake in that. Like I don't know about that. That's the only thing like I'm not sure about.
We're on the same page. That's the one part where I disagree with this,
Okay.
because I find, especially not only through social media, but people I actually know, I don't see that part.
Yeah.
I really don't see that part where it talks about men focus on outdoorsy stuff and get annoyed if their partner doesn't match. I'm with you, and here's the reason why. I know people who barbecue and they could care less about whether the woman is
Right.
interested. Am I wrong?
No, what hell, whether or not she's even there. Sometimes the barbecue is just for the friends to come over. I'm throwing
Oh,
some shit on the grill, okay?
and that's been my experience. That I don't think men barbecue, from my experience. I wish there was more people that could chime in on this, even thinking about whether, and Karen, whether she likes it or not. He's just barbecue if that's his thing, or and that includes fishing, cutting grass, whatever those outdoorsy things. I don't think a man, from my experience, gets upset if she doesn't match the energy because he want to be outside. And I don't think the woman gives a shit either.
Uh, you know something, and for some people this may sound crazy, but I do believe firmly that for men, if you just gave them a grill, they would be perfectly happy with just having the meat on the grill and stuff. They could give a shit about sides. I think women, that's like, we when you think of like barbecues and stuff, like the women are the ones like who were making it like a full meal. The men would just be okay with
It's
just
just
fucking
me.
ribs and burgers. That's
It's just
it.
all about it. Oh my God, Tasha, on my family reunion last year, we went to Meridian, Mississippi. Shout out to my nephew who think he can cook on the grill, but you can't, Adam. I'm sorry. But I don't mean this as an
Now, why
insult.
would you say that
I'm
on
just
such?
he not gonna care if him or his mother watch this, my sister can watch this. But that you say that, Tasha, we get there. It's a family reunion. I shit you not. All he made was meat. There were no sides. And he was proud as shit that he had made plenty of meat. So to your point, it's all about the meat for the man. It is women that go to barbecues and cookouts that think, what are you gonna have with that? You know,
Right, right,
if we go to a fish fry, we are going for the fish. If we
right.
go to a barbecue, we're going for the barbecue. Look, is there sausages on the grill? Is there all the other stuff? That's great. But it really is about that. And so again, I agree with pretty much all of what they said about the relationship shifts. I do think in the winter, it reminded me of that Queen Latifah movie, where she thought she was dying. Women in the winter season, they tend to think more romantic things and whatnot, and men, they have honey-do lists, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah,
we're thinking, I got to make sure that the driveway is shoveled. I got to make sure the trash still gets put out. I got to scrape the snow off of her car and start it up in the morning. So I think our gestures are about in the winter, making sure we get things done. So I agree with that. And like you, Tasha, I disagree with that last part. Growing says the right, Tasha, they don't care about the size, just the meat. It's
at
ladies,
all. Like how many times I can't tell you, like sometimes it's like at nighttime, it'll be late in the summertime. I will go outside and I can smell the grill. And I'm like, I know that ain't nothing but a man just putting some burgers or something out there. He ain't
Thank
gonna have
you.
nothing. He might have some bread up there, maybe.
Thank
But if
you.
you think that there's other sides going on, there is not.
Not, and she even said, I think girls make this is very, very true. Men take a lot of pride in their grilling techniques and even own it. I have family in New York that brag because they have a grill. And I laugh and laugh and laugh because for any of my New York people that watch it, y'all sons of bitches don't know what y'all doing on the grill either because we grill down here. But to your point, CC, a man putting some meat on the grill, it's some pride that goes along there. Demi J says, I've always felt that November and December brings a different level of romance and intimacy in the air, being more attentive to one another on a different level. I agree, Demi J, which for me, if you missed the first part of the show, I am absolutely more active, more receptive in the winter than I am in the summer, because even though I don't celebrate Christmas, Tasha knows this, I love the holiday season. I don't actually celebrate, like I'm going to go holiday shopping and stuff, but I'm at my happiest, Demi J, in November. I can't wait for next month. It is the best time of year for me when we get to mid-October. The weather starts to change. We'll be heading to my favorite holiday of all time, Halloween, and boom, we're into November and December. Demi J, that is when I miss relationships the most because of what you just said. That all the little things that go along with winter and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, Last Holiday was the movie, one of my favorite movies of all time. When it's on, I have to watch it, and it puts me. I don't know if it was meant to be is it a romance movie? I view it as a romance movie. Is it?
I think it's a rom-com, kind of movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Demi J, it's one of my favorite movies, and it puts me in a great mood. CC says, funny, my son doesn't want anyone on his grill. Don't touch that boy's grill. I don't blame him. I know people that don't play about that grill. They marinate meat for 24 hours. They are dead serious. Demi J says, yes, mine too. Yeah, that is a real thing, folks. Okay.
So before we move on, I have a question then. So then is it fair to say, or are we suggesting that romantic relationships should be cultivated in the fall and winter and then seeing and hoping that they last through the spring?
I think so. That's my view. That's
okay.
that's my. Okay. I think the best relationships are cultivated and built in winter. It's not as much to do as holiday season. I think people generally are happier because we just talked about in the summertime it's hot. I think there are more accidents in the summertime. People are angry, road rage. Prince once famously said he lived in Minnesota because it keeps the bad people out. Lord knows we know Black people don't like cold weather. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? More fights and all kinds of things happen. So Tasha, I think relationships should be cultivated in the fall and winter for sure. CC is agreeing. I'm assuming. I do. I get happier. I'm not actively looking, but I am certainly more active in terms of going out in the winter. When that temperature drops, I'm more apt to stay in a store longer, Tasha, go to additional places, walk around a little bit longer. And I'm personally happier and more apt to even receive company in my home when it's fall and winter, believe it or not. Now, I do have one caveat. when it's raining, I have a pet peeve about people visiting me in the rain. I don't want you tracking wetness in my house. It's weird. Snow doesn't bother me. Stump your boots off. But if it's raining, I think you should keep your ass at home.
It's on the ground is wet with rain.
I don't know.
Only rain. But they can slip and slide their ass to your house in the snow.
And the snow is because to me, I view it as snow is cold. Come on in, get warm, take your shoes off. I've got a throw blanket for you. Like Tasha, my apartment's going to be cold as fuck, even in the winter, because I don't really do heat. But guess what? I got plenty of blankets for you. But if it's raining, don't visit me in the rain. I feel like don't coming in my door and shit and shaking off and doing that umbrella shit in my house.
So that's rude as shit. First of all, that would be rude. Like, don't take your umbrella off of a house. Yeah, that's rude.
But I've seen people. That's why I say don't stay home in the rain. Yeah, Demi J says that's not a bad idea. It may force the true meaning of intimacy to happen, which isn't the physical. Demi J, we need to make that a thing that encourage people to. Yeah, it's not about intimacy. Jenny P says. That's because you are from New York City. I don't know if that's a northern thing. Is that a northern thing? Do y'all have a problem with people coming to visit you in the rain? I do.
I no big deal. But honestly, I think that's universal. Don't shake your umbrella off anywhere inside of anyone, even your own house. Don't do that. Put it outside. Let it dry out outside or something.
Like what you said that, Tasha, because I see people do it even in stores. When I have to use an umbrella,
that's so rude.
I think that too, because even if I got an umbrella, and again, I don't mind getting wet, but let's say if I have an umbrella and I'm walking in a store, I put the umbrella outside the door, but I've seen people inside, boom, 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 boom. Now it's fucking all wet and stuff. And so that's why I said, Cece says, hey, Jenny. Jenny says, hey, back. Certainly hit that like button if you're checking us out. But yeah, look. Snow is okay to visit me, and I'm definitely more open to intimacy, as Demi J says, but don't visit me in the rain. And Jenny, I don't know if that's a New York thing. All right, let's go to number 6. And if you're joining late, we're talking about pre-cuffing season and how weather impacts relationships and things of that nature. CC says, I have a boot tray outside my door. Please leave your umbrellas and boots there. See, you fancy with it. See, you fancy with it, CC. I live in a 1-bedroom apartment, so that's why. Now I do have a patio. You can leave your boots out. Come on in when it's winter, but don't come in wet. Because the other thing I gotta say this: if you're wet, it irks me then because you're coming in and you're wet, and I gotta wonder about whether you're sitting down wet on my couch and all that kind of shit. No, don't visit me. Don't visit me. Don't visit me. If you already here and it's raining, that's okay. But don't come visit me in the rain. So, Cece says, I don't want to have to keep having my carpets done. That's expensive. That's thank you. Okay, so Jenny, that tells me that's not just a New York thing, Man, Jimmy J said, that's my issue, you being wet. So thank you. All right. Number 6, y'all, on the list is how does weather affect fashion and attraction? I promise you, I'm reading this right with you. The first time I'm ever seeing it. It says when it comes to fashion and attraction, women, weather shapes style choices that can influence confidence. Boots and coats in the winter, dresses in the summer. Confidence shifts can ripple into how affectionate or adventurous they feel. I'm going to completely rely on women to tell me if that's true or not. I'm going to read it again. Weather shapes style choices that can influence confidence. For example, boots and coats in the winter, dresses in the summer. Confidence shifts can ripple into how affectionate or adventurous they feel. No men on the show, so it's just me. Men are less swayed by fashion changes in themselves, but very responsive to how women's seasonal fashion affects their attraction and attention. Read that again. For men, they are less swayed by fashion changes themselves, but very responsive to how women's seasonal fashion affects their attraction and attention. Tasha, agree or disagree here?
Oh, that's definitely true. It's definitely true. That is definitely true. Men, yeah, the seasonal thing is definitely true because especially y'all get so excited with the sundress season and everything. Y'all can't wait for women to get out there and be half naked and whatnot. Can't wait for that. It's not that big of a deal for men.
Okay.
Um, but for women, for me, I will say, let me just say this for myself. For women, yes, you have distinct groups of women, I think, when it comes to fashion. You have some that, like myself, love the fall and winter. We love the hoodies, the sweaters, like the boots and everything, dressing like that, the different coats and everything.
Right.
Then you have the other side, which is the spring and summer, where some women just can't wait to just be outside, just showing, showing skin, feeling the sun on the skin. They want to do the shorts, the tank tops, the dresses. They can't, they can't wait.
Right.
And so yeah, for the women who tend to be like more like spring and summer, like forward, fall and winter, absolutely, like it just they hate it because they don't want to feel that constricted. They don't want to feel like they gotta have on that many different layers. They gotta have on
Okay.
all those
Okay.
clothes. They want to be a little bit freer and everything. So they are clawing at the roof,
Right.
so to speak, trying to get to the next season. And then, on the other side of it, the
Yeah.
ones who are more prone to liking fall and winter, for like
Right.
layers and everything. Summer fashion is just ridiculous because it's like you just can't be comfortable in anything really. So
I got a question for you and all the ladies watching. For you personally, when it comes to your own individual confidence and attractiveness, do you feel more so in winter or summer based on how you dress?
fall and winter definitely for me. I feel far more confident in fall and winter.
Love it. I would love to hear from the ladies on that topic. Uh, Grown Woman Don't Try Me says, I'm in Pennsylvania, so it's cold and I'm a snow bunny. I just want to stay warm. So you're dressing, I would imagine, utilitarian, which hey, I'm just trying to stay warm. I ain't trying to think about attractiveness, I would imagine. Demi J says, we need to leave more to the imagination. Just because it comes in your size doesn't
Preach
mean you
it.
need to have it on. Leave it to the desired and allured. Well, Demi J, I truly agree with you 1000% there because everything is not for everybody. And oh, by the way, that includes men. That
Yeah.
includes men. There's some fashions that just because they make it in your size don't mean you should wear it. I'm a big fan of dressing your age and age appropriate and all that kind of stuff. Cece says, at Demi, discretion is always the key, in my opinion. Absolutely. Jenny P chimes in, says, well, I'm a t-shirt, jeans, and tennis shoe girl. So I'm with Tasha. I love a cozy sweater and sweatshirt. I'm curious,
Yep.
ladies, again, the same question for you. When it comes to fashion and attraction, are you more personally confident in the winter or the summer? I'm curious. I'm very curious. Jenny P, when you were saying that, Tasha, she was saying facts. One woman says that you, Jenny, we have a lot in common. CC says, I'm trying to get to the comments quick enough. Fur jacket, boots, etc. Jenny says, yep, fall and winter. I love to put on a cute heeled boy. I don't even know what a heeled
She
boy.
probably find me boot. Cute heel.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. I'm like, is that a certain kind of shoe? Okay. All right. Cece says, at Grown Woman, you are right. Jenny says, Jenny, that's my usual uniform. Okay. Jenny P says, I love to wear a cute boot, fitted jeans, and low cut shirt. I'm more confident, she mentioned, in the winter. Interesting. Demi J says, I love all fashion, any season, but this Texas temperature is horrible. I prefer
Mhm.
fall. So I'm taking that to say that you're more confident in that fall season. The reason why I asked that question then is because here in Atlanta, it seems to me, I don't have the women on here to verify this, but their confidence seems to be in the summer here. This is a place where aesthetics is extremely important. Everybody's in a gym. They want the six pack. And I'm talking men and women.
Mhm.
And in the summer, for now, when it comes to fashion, I see the variety. Here in Atlanta, people are angry in the fall and winter. They don't want to be out. They're rushing. It's kind of the opposite, which for me is a big downer because even as a big fat man, I'm certainly more confident and I feel more attractive in the winter. I hate summer because you can never take enough off enough clothes. And because of my work that I do, I don't wear dress clothes anymore. We don't go to an office. So I'm pretty much in my sweats and whatnot. But I actually get to dress a little bit when it gets cold because to Tasha's point, that's when I get to go to my closet. And there are some cool sweaters. We don't really have a need for coats here per se. But guess what? I actually have a nice motherfucking coat. I got two actually coats, a rain jacket that every now and then, lo and behold, I get to put the rain jacket on and look like Inspector Gadget in this joint. I get to put the hat on and feel like I'm in my pimping mode in this joint. Every blue moon, I get to put on an actual, I got a long dress coat, but I very rarely get to wear it. But I do get to wear, like to Tasha's point, when it gets cold, again, November, December, January, where I got my little zip up sweater and shit. I get to put a hat on and not sweating all the time. I actually go back to wearing real pants all through the summer and the spring. I'm wearing nothing but sweats and shit. But I get to put on real pants. And oh, by the way, every now and then I get to put on a boot, for example. So I'm definitely, my confidence is a big dude walking through. I feel a little bit of swag sometimes when it get to be fall and winter. Yeah, sometimes I even get a little look. Like, that's a big dude, but shit, he looking suave in this motherfucker. And I always smell good. So my confidence is definitely for winter. Again, why it's my favorite time. Sherry joined the show. No, that's not Sherry. Steve, welcome to the show. Steve, good to see you, brother. He says, based on the women's answers, it seems like confidence is more important than fashion. Am I wrong in that assessment?
Uh, that kind of goes like hand in hand. I would say that it probably also depends on like the age of the person as well. That where
Ooh,
comfort is
great
gonna
point.
be like a
Great
big
point.
a big part in it. Like because
Great point.
whatever I wear is yes, I want to be comfortable 100%, but I also still want to look nice. So
I love the point you made, Natasha, because Craig, going back to my point, I see some women wear some shit that there's no way you comfortable in it, but you think you're attractive in it. So, and that I think it is maybe tied to age and dress appropriateness, because grown women, I think, is what Tasha is on. They want both.
yeah.
For their confidence. They're not even, I don't think, going to buy or wear clothes that is not comfortable, but also they feel attractive in. I think some of the other age groups, they don't give a shit. Craig, Cece says hello. Craig says hello back. Cece says, Craig, not for me. She says, not for me. You're spot on. Uh-oh. What did I lose? Okay, I thought I lost my comment section. All right. And Cece says, all right now, Black, don't hurt him. Uh-oh, Mr. Sportsman himself. It says he's on the let me see. Did he come in? Oh, there's my
There you go.
dog. There's my dog. But we wasn't looking for you tonight, brother. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I just popped in. I just happened to walk in. I said, "Oh, my brother and my sister are on.
You're
So
doing
let
the
me
damn
jump
thing.
in here and see what they're talking about."
Well, we'll get another male opinion. Tonight's show is on the pre-cupping season. We're talking about how weather impacts relationships, and we're up to number 6, and we're talking about how fashion and attraction plays a part when it comes to weather. And I'll read it for you. It says when it comes to weather and fashion for women, weather shapes their style choices that can influence their confidence. For example, boots and coats in the winter, dresses in the summer. Confidence shifts can ripple into how affectionate or adventurous they feel. And for men, they're less swayed by fashion changes themselves, but very responsive to how women's seasonal fashion affects their attraction and attention. So that's where we're at. And I was sharing how for me, as a Capricorn, I got my Capricornian brother here, winter, I get to wear a little bit more fashionable clothes, even though I'm a fat dude, because through the summer I have to wear sweats and dress like fucking this. But in the winter, I get to put on sweaters. I Tasha say a hoodie, sometimes wear a jacket, wear a hat. I'll be feeling myself a little bit. And Demi says, all right, now about Mr. Black, don't hurt him. Hey, that's the only time, Demi, I get the chance to hurt him a little bit, so I'll be trying. Cece says, Craig, I prefer looking cute and comfortable at the same time. Debbie J says, hello, Kenny. Cece says, hello, Kenny. So, Kenny, I want to ask you before we move to the next point, do you agree with that aspect of how winter impacts relationships, how for women it boosts their confidence, it seems, in terms of that? What do you think?
I think I'm just going to speak for me. I always say men make the clothes don't make the men. And that's for me, I've always been in tune with what I like to wear, but I've never been that dude that feel like I had to be all suave and debonair to pull a woman. I always feel like, hey, I can talk a little bit and I could be in some BS. Okay. I could be in a Walmart, some jeans and a shirt, and my personality is gonna overshadow whatever I'm wearing. So that's my thoughts on
now. Does that change though? How does that confidence for you, if not, does it change in any way from season to season? Like, are you more comfortable fashion wise and feel a different level of attractiveness in a winter versus summer, or no, it doesn't matter?
No, it doesn't matter for me because
gotcha.
I've pretty much been a lean dude all my life.
Gotcha.
So I ain't never felt any type of way when it comes to clothes or however I needed to wear them. That
just so you know, I hate you for that, but okay.
Hey, brother Black, hey, brother Lee, my good brother. It's about DNA and genetics. I have to be honest with you. I was just blessed probably because my mother and my pops weren't. It's really a DNA thing. So I ain't never really had to work at it. So that's my thing.
Oh my God. So you're blessed with being able to look at him. He can say that shit. So it doesn't matter for him. Winter, summer, spring, or fall, they always gonna have shit in his size. So,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true. Yeah.
I ain't never had to worry.
I ain't never had to worry about that.
I can see some shit I like, y'all. And the moment I get to 5X, the only color they got it in is fucking black and brown. You sons of bitches. So, like, damn, but okay. Let's go to number 7.
Oh, man, that's
when
funny.
It comes to the pre-cuffing season and weather, coping mechanisms. It says for women are more likely to regulate mood with cozy rituals. Example, candles. Tasha, I can't wait to hear your view on this. Women are more likely to regulate the mood with cozy rituals. Candles, warm baths, seasonal foods. These can become bonding opportunities if the partner participates. Men often externalize coping. Workouts, sports, drinking, tinkering, which can leave women feeling left out if they want shared comfort. Ooh, I got the right 2 people on here for this. Agree or disagree? And I say that because Tasha has introduced me to the whole feng shui lifestyle. Don't nobody do it like McMack. Yo, y'all don't even know. She heavily influenced the style of my apartments. She got me into candles, and she is an innovator in helping me decorate. So I can't wait to hear her. And then my dude up here is a workout dude. So Tasha, you agree or disagree with this?
I certainly agree with that. It is all about creating that creating that moment, lighting those candles, the specific scents as well, for like the seasonal fragrances too.
Ooh.
The warm baths, the coffee, the teas, the all of those little things, like sharing, just carving out that time to spend with someone. You might even have for like the fall and winter, you might even have like those movie nights where you want to just kind of cuddle up, a little bit together, like on the couch or something. So yeah, I certainly would say that that probably is a little, a little bit truer for the women. Now, as far as like the men, like like on the other side of it, I don't know. I feel like men is just kind of, I don't know if it really like impacts men that much. I could just kind of feel like that's what they do, like spring, summer, fall anyway. It's just whatever their routine is, it's just their routine. So
and that's where I want to go with my brother, because again, I don't work just so you know. But Cece says I'm a cute 70-year young woman, so I dress cute, all the time.
Already.
Demi J was agreeing with you, Tasha. She says I agree. So Kenny, for you, how much do you agree with that when it comes to weather and how it impacts, in this case, coping? That's what I want to focus on, coping mechanism. Is it for you agree with the fact that for men it's more external and played out when it comes to workout, sports, and drinking? This is the sports guy, y'all.
Right. I totally agree with it. I know for me, it definitely has been my coping mechanism for the last probably 10, 11 years. Now, I have to admit, I don't work out as much as I used to due to the fact of what I do with my job. I get a workout doing what I do at FedEx. So I'm not in the gym like I used to be, granted 2 or 3 years ago. But far as men, for me, it definitely was a coping mechanism, because I used the gym as it was definitely a place for me to really to tune in and to really to put myself in a position to really focus on me, because I was yearning for a relationship with a significant other, and I didn't have that, and I'm still kind of not in that position right now. So the gym was my place of refuge, my place of sanity, my place of feeling good, a place of focusing in and zoning in, and putting my body, mind, and spirit in that place where I'm gonna set myself up for whenever I meet that person. I'm gonna be physically, mentally, and ready, and all that. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. I'm so glad you shared that, and that's and for those of you who don't know about the whole Capricorn thing, Janus, there's sometimes we share so many things, and then sometimes we are facing opposite. I'm the exact opposite, my brother. Tasha has turned me into a woman, but okay.
What?
What? What the hell?
I knew that would get your attention. I knew that would get your attention. Let me explain. Look, I've never been a big workout person. Once upon a time, I was naturally fit and healthy and whatnot. But the truth of the matter is, I watch more sports now than I did when I was younger. And because of diabetes and all this other kind of shit, I don't drink hardly near as much. And my drinking era was with that person at the bottom. For the record, and folks, I'm drinking a new flavor of Fireball. They have a new flavor called Blazing Apple, and it's absolutely phenomenal. I only drink heavy liquor when I'm doing this show. Throughout the week, I pretty much drink wine, or I drink like the pre-mixed Long Island iced tea. Why am I saying that? My coping mechanisms now are more leaning toward the women.
Oh boy.
Tasha has turned me into a fucking woman.
We blame this on you, Tasha. Brother Black now has a vagina.
Brother Black has a vagina. Somebody clip that. No, I'm just kidding.
I find, to Tasha's point, I find myself going to fucking Walmart and buying I have fucking 40 candles in here. I light candles every day. My coping mechanism when I get off work after dealing with the numbskulls I deal with, for me, it's light. I have a candle in my bedroom and a candle in right here on that counter that's lit right now. And as I'm doing the show, it literally affects my mood, and I get excited about whatever that candle. I get excited. I just pick a candle at random, and I get excited in another room that I can smell that, and it affects my mood. And I just have like the cheap candles I buy from Family Dollar and Dollar Tree in the bathroom. Those are just for light. I don't put the good ones in the bathroom. But my coping mechanisms is I got a Dollar Tree. I buy all of the different flavors of Epsom salt. So I look forward to a hot Epsom salt bath with the candle lit. When I begin this show, all lights go. I only have the lights on because I have to have lights on to do the show. But typically, I have no lights on in my apartment. I like it dark and with the candles and the music. So I tend to lean towards what women as I've gotten older. And for me, that's my coping mechanism, believe it or not. And so that's crazy, for me that in this one, but I don't disagree with it. I agree with it. It's just for me, a lot have changed.
Right.
And I fully believe that now that I'm into this, that's never going away. I truly love the whole candles in the bath thing, and Tasha was mentioning all of those things, seasonal. I love it now, and I know I would have to have somebody that's into that, for sure. Now, don't get it jokingly, when I say turn me into a woman. Now, trust and believe. I don't mean it in any other way. So Cece says, "Oh Lord."
Another part of that is the lighting too, like lighting. I'm an avid do not ever turn on my overhead lights person.
Right.
I have hella lamps. Right. I have lights mounted on the wall and everything. I have different remotes that'll turn on different lights in my do not do overhead lighting, because to me it's also a part of like the coping mechanism thing. It's one of those things too.
I agree with Mac. I agree 1,000%. So that's why I said on this one, me personally, I lean more towards what women, how they cope. She says scents are common for me. Very big on scents. At one point, CC, I used to have a big bowl in my bathroom, and I would buy all these soaps, and it would keep my bathroom smelling really fresh. Like I would take them out of the box, like a whole lot of soaps. Right now, I have 30 bottles of cologne. I got a big mirror thing. So when I get out the shower, it's doing my routine, and I have a different cologne every single day, that I use. So I'm very big on changing my mood when it comes to scent. Craig says, I agree that a man's coping mechanisms are things like watching sports, hanging with friends, working out, etc. I think a woman's coping mechanisms are done more without a man than with one, in my opinion. I don't disagree with a lot of that, Craig. I agree with you 100%. And I think maybe that is a very big thing that women don't necessarily need men. They have their own rituals. It reminds me of a commercial way back in the day where it says, Calgon, take me away. I'm dating myself here, but that commercial showed how women were able to go in the bathroom and shed everything out by sitting back in a hot bubble bath and doing their thing. So I agree with you, Craig, in that regard. Demi J says, oh, that was perfect. I needed that. I'm in that position now, doing the work on myself. Absolutely. And Cece says, soft lighting and good scents are so refreshing. I'm with you there. Demi says, I needed that, Kenny. I'm in that position right now, working on myself to prepare myself to be desired for someone. Absolutely.
Yeah. And I would say, just to piggyback off of Demi J, you just have to continually be in that, put yourself in that self-improvement area. And it may not necessarily mean that you trying to do that for someone else, but you just trying to be the best part of you. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you want somebody that wants you for you, no matter what you are.
Beautiful point.
So you continue to self-improve just because you want to do it, not because you want to attract someone to you. And that was my whole thing about getting in the gym, because I just know that I wanted to be in a better place mentally and physically and spiritually as well, that I would be ready for whomever that person that come my way. And then you can weed, and then your discernment to be on point too, where you can weed out the ones that just there just to be the BBSing you too.
Beautiful point. Drop the mic moment, my brother. She says, I agree with you. Beautiful.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on to number 8, guys. When it comes to pre-cuffing season, weather affecting relationships, how does weather affect travel and adventure mindset? For women, it says bad weather can be a deal breaker for trips. They'll cancel a date, brunch, or vacation plans if it feels unsafe or just too messy. They also tie travel moods to aesthetics, the beach weather, fall foliage, Christmas lights. Men, on the other hand, are more likely to say weather be damned and push forward, sometimes brushing off safety or comfort concerns, which can spark arguments like, why didn't you just listen when I said that roads look bad? How much truth is there to that?
That probably is a lot of truth into that. Definitely. Yeah, because I don't know about anybody else. There's this running joke like with millennials and everything, like, and me being a millennial, that sometimes like we ask a lot of questions about the environment that we're going to, like not only who all is going to be there, but we will look ahead at whatever the event is going to be, but also the parking situation. Like that's big.
Wow.
Like if the parking situation is not ideal, I'm not going. If I feel like I'm going to get stuck, if it's not clear where, or I got to park like on a side street or something, I'm not going, or I'm not driving. But really, I'm not going to go. But yeah, weather and everything, even just the hint of like bad weather, no, I'll just stay home. So I think there probably is a lot of truth to that. Just, and you will have some times where somebody will be like, just come on and go. It's no big deal. No. For you, it may not be a big deal, but for me, it is a big deal. So
I'm so glad you shared that. Kenny, as a man, does it matter, the weather?
It really don't, because if we think we gonna hit, we don't give a damn if it's a hurricane or a tropical storm, a tornado, whatever. We're gonna be like, what? Well, if you just, hey, I come meet you halfway. I got you. Hey, if we feel like we gonna hit, we don't really give a damn about no damn weather. I'm just gonna go keep it real.
I'm gonna go a step further. I am a fan of let's go for bad weather, because in a way, it leans into you needing me.
That's true. I agree.
I'll go a step further. Let's go, so that if we do get snowed in, we snowed in.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? If you come over and it's thundering and lightning, it's an excuse to say, baby, I'm gonna let you go out in this weather.
I agree. I agree. I agree.
It's a safety thing too, because it's kind of like, what if it's like the first time like you're being with someone, and then now I'm stuck. I'm stuck with you. What if it's not a great experience? Now I'm stuck.
I feel you. I'm saying
I get it.
We're not thinking that.
We're not thinking that. No.
And I love that you are. I love that you are, but we are certainly not thinking about the weather impacting going somewhere or doing something. And to your point, Tasha, I know women that it's raining out there, it's gonna mess my hair up and stuff. I'll just stay home. It's very frustrating because we're not thinking about weather impacting travel and adventure. No. Grab a hat, grab an umbrella, throw your boots on, let's hit it. You know what I'm saying?
Matter of fact, I'm gonna come get you. Where you at? I got you. I'm gonna come
No,
get
it's
you.
okay. We just gonna do it on another day. It's okay. Don't worry
And
about
that's
it.
what, and that's what
No,
they'll
no,
say.
no, no, no,
And
no,
that's
no.
what they'll say. And
We
then
ain't
we're
gonna
like,
do
look,
that.
I'm driving.
Wait,
Gonna do
I'm
it.
You ain't even
coming.
gotta
I
drive.
got
I'm
you.
driving. I got
No,
you.
no, 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 no,
You know
no.
what I'm saying?
We ain't gonna
Debbie J
waste
is
it.
agreeing with you. She
Yeah.
said, yes, Tasha, but my brother is right. Like, look, you ain't even got to drive. Just throw some shit on and just get in the car. Come on, I got you.
Well, I got you. We good. Yeah.
Both the ladies agree.
Yeah.
I watch way too much TV. No, because now we done slid off the side of the road. Now we done had a car accident. Now the car done got stolen. So,
that's why we got to get you to turn off that damn TV. Quit watching all those damn shows.
Whatever that other damn
all that
documentary
Fatal Attraction and all that BS. Cut all that ish off. So you
Craig
got to
says,
be watching
for
all
me,
that.
weather can ruin my mood, and I would most likely cancel the date. But I get why most men wouldn't care, because there's a goal at the end of the date, like Kenny said. So I love that Craig has a different opinion. Craig, I ain't canceling no dates because
no, I ain't either. I don't give a damn about
now,
that.
Again, in case you're late, don't come visit me when it's rain. But if you're already here and it's raining, I got you. But don't come tracking in here while it's raining. I'm not gonna be as happy. Snow,
no,
yes.
you can come see me if it's raining, snowing, sleeting. I don't give a damn.
Shit. Jimmy J said we ain't falling for the okie dokie.
You ain't falling for it, Jimmy J. Jimmy said we ain't falling for it. Okay.
Jimmy J, that's when it's weather, that's when you gotta that's when you find out if you really got the gift of gab. Come on,
that really is true.
Leave now. I promise I'll stay on the phone with you the whole time.
Make sure you got your cell phone. You got enough battery power. Your cell phone charged up. Make sure you got your
the whole time.
I got
Look,
you, man.
It's late. Ain't nobody. Hey, the traffic is gonna be light. Come on.
Yeah, I'm like,
Kitty just said,
don't fall for it, lady. Don't fall for it. Just
hey, I'm like Anthony Edwards, like he told Charles Barkley, bring your ass.
Bring that ass. I'm trying to tell you.
Come on over here.
My God.
We got you.
Number 9, folks, is how does weather impact health and body sensitivity? Women often are more tuned into how weather affects energy, skin, or hormones. The humidity, the dryness, seasonal affective dips. They may expect their partner to notice and adjust their care and affection. I gotta think about that. Men may downplay weather-linked discomfort. It's just a little cold, until it hits them hard, at which point they want sympathy and support in bulk. Ooh. Ooh, I see Kenny's face too. Ooh. Tasha, what you thinking?
Wait. Read it again for me.
Women are often more tuned into how weather affects energy, skin, or hormones, such as humidity, dryness, seasonal affective dips. They may expect their partner to notice and adjust their care and affection. Men may downplay weather-linked discomfort. It's just a little cold, until it hits them hard, at which point they want sympathy and support in bulk. I know what they're saying.
I know why Tasha's laughing now. When you reread that, I know.
That's why I know what they're saying. And Jimmy J, you're right. That's got so many different layers. Tasha, what are you thinking here?
I would definitely say that is the case. We kind of touched on this earlier about like the whole especially like when it comes to like the hair and everything. But yes, weather like for when it's extra humid outside and everything, like your routine, how you're dressing and different things like that is huge, because you typically, women are a little bit more prepared, like for like the different weathers. I mean, our purses hold all kinds of things, and you may change what you're holding in your purse depending on the season. So when it's a little bit when it's colder outside, that's drier air. So yeah, it's additional, like layering of like lotions and everything, but you're bundling up, you're covering, like your face, your nose and everything. You're taking those, your hands especially, you're more
Okay.
likely to see women like wearing gloves and different things like that, like really dressing for like the season. Because on the other side of that, some, for the most part, men just be out there just in the air, and then a lot of times we'll just turn to the woman kind of like, I, do you have this? Do you have that? And there's nothing like having a sick man on your hands, because the world is the Chicken Little, sky is falling. It's just a little cold, but you'll swear it's like the worst thing that's ever impacted him in his entire life. And you guys can look at me all you want to, but men and women getting cold or getting impacted by the weather are two totally different things. It's very different.
I only got okay. I'm listening, and I'm gonna let my dog go. I'm gonna let my dog go. But I am curious about one thing. As you women, in your opinion, with the weather, there's a part where it says you expecting men to notice. Is that true?
Yes.
Why?
You would expect them to
Why?
notice. Well, hell,
question.
honestly, because fuck, you have eyes too. You can feel, you, we both going outside. You can feel the temperature. Now, here's the thing: whether or not it's going to impact you the same, or you think it's going to impact him the same, that's where it differs. But yeah, I expect you to fucking notice a little bit. Yeah.
Ooh, okay. Hold on before you go, Kenny. Demi J talked about, I guess, the women mindset, age, hygiene, libido, menopause, etc. So she clearly agreeing with that.
Right.
Cece says, "Man, Tasha, you ain't never lied about that."
Right.
Right. Very true. You should be in tune to your partner. Kenny, speak on it, my brother.
I think Tasha brought up some very valid points, a whole lot of valid points on this, because I do think we do get a little bit over the top when it comes to certain situations. But men and women, it depends on if you like cold weather. I don't like cold weather, first and foremost. Let me say that. So I probably will be a little bit more over the top when it's cold outside. My skin a little bit feeling some type of way. I'm ashy, my nose running. Yeah, I probably will be a little over the top a little bit. But I ain't gonna never let you know that. But on the flip side, I think we think of it from our libido standpoint too, because a lot of times when it's a little cold outside, sometimes little soldier may not want to jump around like he want to. But so we looking at it from that perspective as well, in my opinion. But I think Tasha hit on some very valid points, though. I will have to admit that.
Let me say this too before you go, Black. Let me say, I'll give you a very specific example. There, even for men, in that time frame where it does come up where you may have a woman where she may be dressing for something, let's say going to the movies or something, or going inside, and she's wearing something where she looks nice in it, but then all of a sudden, like, you tell her, like, you may want to put on a jacket. You may want to take a jacket with you because it could be like a little bit colder. And no, I'm fine. No, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. There's nothing like an annoyed man when you get into it. You get in somewhere and now you look to him like, "Can I have your jacket because it's cold in here?" So it is one of those things. Like damn it, you should have saw that. I was trying to help you out. So
okay, so now that's true. That's you killing it. You killing it with that. You look. Nothing you said is wrong.
No, you right.
I'm going to put myself in a very awkward position here.
You about to be a woman again, Black?
No, I'm not going to be a woman here. But Tasha is the only person who's seen me sick, so she's qualified to answer this question, because I only know what I think. When it says about how for men that we downplay weather-linked discomfort, or it's just a little cold until it hits them hard, and then we want sympathy. I would like to think that when I'm sick, I'm okay, just leave me alone. But she has seen me sick as a friend. Do I want sympathy, and do I want it in bulk?
You don't want it in bulk. You want sympathy, though. You don't want it in bulk. I'm not going to say that like you want it in bulk. No, but you do want sympathy, because there's even been times where you said, I just wish I had somebody here to take care of me. You have said that.
But let me ask you this.
That's fair.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
That's fair.
Right. I would say this. I would think that no matter the gender, man or woman, when you feeling sick, I think we all want sympathy, whether you're a woman or a man.
No, I agree with you.
Now, let me be clear. I'm not speaking only like for sick. Let me go to a very, very specific example. I know how Black is, and I know like as he's gotten older, he has become a little bit more sensitive to temperature. Recently, when he took a trip he rode the train to New York, I told him, I said, you're going to want to take a pillow and a blanket because it can get a little cooler on that train. He was like, no, I'll be fine. He actually admitted to me. I should have fucking listened because it was chilly on there. I'm like, I'll be trying to tell you. I know how you are.
She's telling the truth. She's telling the truth. She's God telling the truth. She said, ain't nothing worse than when a man gets sick. Instant baby.
You probably right about that, CC.
True that. And that was the only part. But in my head, I don't see it that way. I see it as just leave me alone. I'm okay. Don't bother me. Don't be calling. But because that's my best friend, I do call her. I had to ask and get her opinion, and probably Sherry can maybe attest to too. So anyway, you know what? I give up. I defer.
Well,
but I like the point you made also now, because there are times when we do say something and y'all don't listen, weather related, and now it becomes a point of contention because I told you, so thank you for sharing that part.
Part two, I agree. Yeah, Tasha,
thank you for sharing that part. Craig says, right, Tasha, you tell the truth. Craig says, men try to be tough in front of women when it comes to cold weather. Example, giving his jacket to his woman when she's cold. So, like we just saying, I'm going to be angry, Craig, if you came out and you knew it was cold the same way I knew it was cold. Right. I got a jacket and you didn't bring a jacket.
And I got to give your ass my jacket. Yeah.
Right. Or you say, don't wear them stupid ass shoes, and she wore them stupid ass shoes.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Now my feet hurt. And you got to go somewhere where you got to do a lot of walking. What the fuck you wear them shoes for?
Right. You wear them for, Now I got to put you on my back and carry your big ass around all over the place because your feet hurt.
I ain't put nobody on my back, brother.
Now we piggyback. You piggybacking on me because your feet hurt. Ain't that some shit?
Oh my God. We got one last one, y'all.
I wanted to mention something that Jimmy J said, especially like when it comes to like like menopause and everything, just like different stages like of like of age and everything. I think too, we should mention that it's not just like as far as like temperature as well. It's Cece said, just being in tune with your partner. If you know that, maybe you get a little sick when you eat certain things, or having like the Tums and everything, like on hand because like your partner may get like, like acid reflux or something. It's just one of those things. It's just knowing. It's just, I'm aware of what's going on with myself. I'm also aware of what's going on with you. I would just like to know that you also are doing the same thing, that maybe you're picking up on some things as well. So
thank you. And thank you for reference. It almost got by me. Thank you, Tuck, because I definitely want to bring this up. Thank you for the comment, Demi J. This is for me asking a question, ladies. How does weather affect, in these two areas I want to know about, hygiene? Because that's one of my things. How does weather impact your health and body sensitivity when it comes to hygiene and libido? I'm curious about those two. because I'm thinking about, let me preface it by stating why I'm asking that. When it comes to my libido and hygiene, weather doesn't change for me as a man.
Mm-hmm.
I have a routine. Winter, summer, spring, or fall, I have to bathe every night. I have to shower every night. I have literally a routine to feel my best regardless of the weather. I guess if I could say this, maybe I take extra showers in the summer versus the winter. But as far as libido, you know what? That's not true. It does affect my libido. But I'm curious about you. I want to ask you, ladies, and since you put the comment out there, Demi J, how does that impact those two areas specifically? Hygiene and libido. Tasha, you were going to answer.
Hygiene, I would agree with you. Like, I think we all have our own like base level of hygiene and our own levels of cleanliness. When it comes to like weather, warmer temperatures, you may bathe, shower more, do a little bit more, as far as like hygiene goes. I also mentioned like, like just like skincare. The types of lotions and body creams I might use in the fall and the winter may not be the exact same in the spring and the summer, because there's more humidity and moisture in, like in the air. But libido, I do think that the times of the year, I do think that it impacts women and men differently. I don't know. And I also think that a lot of this has to go with age, where in the summertime and summertime, springtime, you might be outside, you have those times where you just outside, you might be just a little bit more free and just be willing to do do a little bit of anything and everything. But in the if you're a spring summer type of person, but in the fall, if that tends to be more of the season to where like you feel you're most confident, your libido may pick up a little bit more. So
love that. I love that. Thank you. Yeah. That's why I say I'm always kind of trying to learn a little bit as well. Craig says, so if a man gets sick giving up his jacket to his woman, she should take care of him. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
No doubt about it. But yeah, you kind of give me some different ways to think about it. But yeah, I guess kind of going back to some of the earlier ones, my libido is impacted greater. I mean, into what you would, Kenny. And again, Kenny's not a cold weather person. I am. I definitely tend to miss connection more in fall and winter than I do in the summer. Ironically, I can get through my whole summer. You would think it's the opposite, because visually, women are walking around with less clothes on, but it's too hot for me in the summer for me personally. But as I said, when we get to next month and it's getting fall and winter, I get in a different spirit. The Christmas music, it getting dark quicker than it was. I already have my little mood set. I tend to want impact my libido more fall and winter than it would in the summertime for me. I'm curious, if anybody, you're welcome to share. Jimmy J says, hygiene, I take more baths and shower more than once a day in the summer. In the winter, not just once. I love it. Hey, Kenny, I'm sorry.
No, and that's a really good question, because I'm the exact opposite. I'm more melancholy, and I'm more in a reflective, and I don't want to say depressed, but I'm more in a different mood during the fall and the winter, because it gets dark earlier. I don't like to sit in the dark. I don't like to do that. I like to be. I love natural light. I love warmer temperature. It puts me in a really different type of mood.
Gotcha.
So I don't like the fall and winter. And it's funny, I was born in the winter.
Right.
And so I don't like that, because it puts me in a mood that I don't like to be in, unfortunately.
Statistically, my brother, I'm out of the norm. More people are depressed in winter and holiday season than any other time of the
year. And that's me. I can
it's weird. And I'm the opposite. Tasha knows this. I'm gonna say it point blank. I'm more depressed and melancholy in the summer. Riding through the streets in the summer, it's weird because everybody's doing all this and all these activities. For me, it's summer that I don't know. We're not gonna get into that, but yeah, you fall within what normal people are. Cece says, in summer when I shower before I go out and as soon as I come in, me too.
Yeah, me too.
Running errands, coming in, I could, just showered. I feel sticky. I can't lay down. I can't sleep unless I feel super fresh and clean.
Me too.
So I'm with you. Demi J says there is such a thing called seasonal depression.
I believe
it's real. Demi J, it's real. It's real. All right, last one, folks. Last pre-cuffing season point we're going to talk about when it comes to how weather impacts relationships, symbolism in romance. Great way to end it. Women frequently tie weather to symbolic meaning. First snowfall, summer sunsets, spring blossoms, and expect those moments to be marked with romance. Now, I'm curious if y'all believe that. Men are more likely to appreciate the practical side of those moments. Good light for pictures, a reason to grill, an excuse for a road trip, rather than layering emotional symbolism on top. I'm going to read that again. Women frequently tie weather to symbolic meaning. For example, the first snowfall, summer sunsets, spring blossoms, and they expect those moments to be marked with romance. Men are more likely to appreciate the practical side of those moments, same moments. We're thinking of it in terms of the good light for pictures, a reason to grill, an excuse to take a road trip, rather than layering emotional symbolism on top. How much do you agree with that? Before I go, Demi says, I'm currently going through menopause, and right now it's just the hot flashes, but I can feel it affecting my mental. My sister Sherry has shared with me how much, Demi J, the weather affected her mentally. And she literally told me in detail, at one point she was living on the 11th floor. She said she would have moments where something was telling her to jump.
Oh, wow.
I mean, she blew my mind with how deep she went into how menopause impacted her and her moods and everything in the weather. So I will never know what that's like.
Right.
I know it's real. So, sweetheart, thank you for sharing that with us.
Yeah, for real.
So
wow.
Yeah, I didn't know it went that. We hear the word as men.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know it went that deep. And my sister and I are very close. And so she shared literal things that she had moments where being up that high, something was telling her jump. I was like, damn. And she would have to get out of her head. So to your point, she said she couldn't sleep. My sister now sleeps sitting up 90% of the time. And that happened, she said, when menopause happened, she went from being able to sleep laying down to sleeping sitting up because of the hot flashes and whatever else she was going through. So I always say this, look, we talk a lot of stuff on this show. I'm so glad I'm a man.
Yeah, women are definitely the real MVP.
Yeah,
I always say that.
Yeah, the shit y'all deal with, we ain't ready for that shit. But anyway, going back to the symbolism and romance, how much you guys agree with this?
I would disagree with this because I don't think that there is an expectation of romance for those specific the first snow, for those moments to be marked that way. I would disagree with that. I think it's an acknowledgement that of what of those times. Yet, like, it's the first snow. Maybe maybe you have kids. Maybe maybe it's something like that. It's the first when the Christmas lights first get turned on. Those long summer nights, those long, maybe like a nice long walk. It's more so like an appreciation. I would disagree. I don't think that it has to. I don't know too many women that would honestly say that it has to be marked with a romantic gesture.
I'm so glad. Thank you for sharing that, because this one was obviously I have to rely on what women say. And I was thinking the same thing, Tasha. I don't know any women that I've dated that wanted the first snowfall or, oh my God, look at that sunset or oh my God, spring, it's blooming, for that to be recognized with a romantic moment. I don't think that mattered, So anyway, Kenny, what do you say on this? But Tasha, before I go, what about the men part? From your experience, Tasha, what do you think about how it talks about for us? We ain't trying to layer none of that.
No, I think that it is more practical for both, honestly. So I would probably agree that it is more practical, just like, oh yeah, like it's nice out here. Yeah, let's put something on the grill. Yeah, let's go for a late night drive. It's real nice tonight or something like that. I think for both is probably a little bit more practical. So
what's up, brother? My brother?
Yeah. I agree with Tasha 100%. I don't think women are actually really sitting there putting their whole soul and spirit into the first snowfall and the first sunset. They not. I don't think women are doing that when it comes to being romantic with their guy. And again, Tasha, she knocked it out the park. I think men and women as well. If it's nice out, and then was like, "Yo, let's go and put some on the grill." Like, okay, cool, let's do it. So I think it works both ways for both sexes. So yeah, I think this one is a little bit far-fetched, and I don't really agree with it.
I don't either, but I got a question though. But I want to make sure I get this comment in because CC acknowledged in the previous topic talking about menopause. She said it can be very difficult going through menopause, and the hot flashes can drive you insane. Trust me. Jimmy J said it's very serious. God bless her. Jimmy J said, no, I can't relate to that feeling now, talking about the tiredness to things. And Jimmy J said, it's just not that deep. I agree. Right. So we all agreement there. But I am curious when it comes to the weather and relationships, is it even a factor though? Because when I first came up with this topic, and I don't know if you guys, the picture I downloaded, when it comes to weather, changing of season, and we're on pre-cuffing season, how much does that play into romance though? Is it even a thing to share a sunrise or a sunset, to sit and listen to the rain? To Kenny's shaking his head, no. That's why I want to know for him is no. But I want to know, especially from women, because Demi just said it's not that deep, but is there any romance attached to weather as it impacts the relationship? Is it a thing where, man, it's a great thunderstorm, and does it enhance the romance in any way? I know sometimes people sleep better even to rain sounds. Is weather an impact at all when it comes to romance in a relationship? I'm curious about that for you individually.
Is it an impact? Like, is it an impact? I don't know, but I don't know. I would like to, I'm not going to say I would attach it to romanticism at all. I would just say in general, just being able to sit in the moment and enjoy it. Like, let's just sit and let's watch the sunrise like once. Let's together have that moment, even if we're not talking, but just being able just to share that moment. Maybe just having, that's an intimate, that could be seen as an intimate moment almost. But I'm not going to necessarily link it to being romantic, just the same as like a sunset, going on like a nice, like, car ride, or a nice walk, or or when it does rain, just being able just to sit quietly together and just listen to the rain. So I don't know if I would necessarily link it to being romantic, but just more so just being together.
I love that, Kenny, because I want to hear your thoughts particularly. Debbie J says, and I think this is in agreement with you, Tasha. You say it can be, but not a requirement. Because I'm curious, my brother, for you, is this an impact? Does weather impact romance for you at all? And CC says, I agree, Tasha, well said. Because now I'm interested. I hear from the women. What do you think, my brother? Is this an impact at all when it comes to the weather for you on romance?
Not for me at all. I
Okay.
think if there's a moment that we're sharing and it just so happens to be the sun is setting or something is happening, almost definitely that'll be a moment that I remember that we
Okay.
can talk back. We can say, "Hey, you remember when we was doing this and we got this beautiful sunset?" Yes, I could see it from that perspective.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, no. Me personally, music would be more
I got
a
you.
particular song playing
I
that
got you.
we are together that would have a bigger impact than some sort of weather situation. So for me, no.
Love that, man. Craig says, I think the weather can be attached to your mood. The first rain after a hard winter, the first warm day after having a bunch of cold days, the first snowfall as it gets close to Christmas, etc. Craig, I think me and you are more aligned on this one. Maybe as I've gotten older, I become more sentimental, ironically. And 20 years ago, it wouldn't have mattered to me. But do you know when I think about the best relationships I've ever been in, the moments that kind of come up in some ways are tied to maybe the weather, as Craig is alluding to. And that's kind of what I miss more than anything else sometimes. I'm perfectly fine living as a bachelor, but when I get in my head sometimes and I do think about what I'm missing, sometimes, Craig, what you're talking about, people might be surprised. It's not the sex, it's not the, you can get sex anywhere. Ironically, it is, to Craig's point, I think I sometimes miss being trapped inside. Tasha said this earlier, where sometimes weather events happen where you can't go anywhere. There is nothing like being trapped inside with somebody you want to be with. I have the greatest memories in relationship with somebody I really liked, and we couldn't go anywhere. But we were trapped inside for days, so to speak, and it was just us. And somebody said, I don't know if it was you, Tasha. I think it was you, Tasha, how you open the door in this, and especially when it's rain, I mean snow rather, and it's so eerily quiet.
Mm-hmm.
And in that moment, it's like nobody else is alive on earth but you and that person. That's the things that I think about. And Craig, as you talked about, like a really hard rain, I love thunderstorms. When I'm with somebody that I really enjoy, there is nothing like turning the TV off. And this, of course, was a time when you wasn't tethered to your phones and just fucking laying there talking in a thunderstorm. So maybe as I've gotten older, the weather it does impact my mood, to Craig's point, in many ways, in that sense. So that's
But
weird.
but I have a question. I just want to
Uh-huh.
clarify. Is that a moment that you would mark as a romantic moment, or could it be
No,
something
no,
that is
no,
necessarily shared like
no,
with anyone that you share
no.
closeness
You're
with?
right, Tasha. Right. No, I don't mark it. Yeah, no, I don't mark it. You're right. I don't mark it. But of all of the shit I've done in my life, those are the moments that linger and stay. So I don't know if that qualifies.
Because
Um,
I think about, and like for me, um having like a southern grandmother, like when it would storm and stuff, everything has to be turned off,
right.
you know. So
Right.
you
We
got to
grew up
sit
with
there,
that.
because
We
you got to
grew up
sit
with
there
that.
because you got to let the Lord do his work. So it's a memory ingrained in me, but not a
Right.
romantic moment, but it is a memory that sticks with
So
me.
that I was actually alluding to that. We were New Yorkers, but my family's from Meridian, Mississippi. So we were raised with a lot of the Southern little interjections in there, that we couldn't watch TV, we couldn't talk on the phone. And so it kind of translated, Tasha. And that's why I said it in that way, that when it's a really, truly violent thunderstorm, I still sometimes turn it. And when I'm with somebody, it was those moments that I remember being married or being with particular girlfriends, that a thunderstorm, and now we just laying there just talking quietly, because you're taught from the southern perspective, be quiet, You know, all those silly ass saying when it's thundering, we were told that that's the devil beating his wife or some shit. You know, so you had all these crazy shits going on. And so, of course, I don't believe that, but it is those moments. But like you said, it's not, I don't know, it's not marked, but it is the memories that linger. Like when I think about girlfriends that I really enjoyed, the moments that stayed with me is not the nasty, freaky shit. It's those moments. I can tell you stories about being caught in a tornado with, I don't want to say names here, but we were racing from a tornado. I can tell you the moment when in Memphis, moving to Memphis, when they had the ice storm of 94, of me and my wife walking through the snow, surviving on Lay's potato chips and Pepsi. I can tell you the moments of being with another girlfriend where we were caught in a rainstorm and we were soaking fucking wet. Those are the moments that stay.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that necessarily marks them as romantic, but that's the moments that stay.
I totally agree with you, Brother Black. There's moments that you have in your relationship or marriage, whatever, that also always sticks with you. And it may not seem romantic to someone else, but for you, it kind of comes off as like, this is kind of romantic when you really think about it. So I get it. Yeah.
That's you know, Demi J says that's where knowing one another's love language is important. I love that. Doing a kind gesture could be more romantic than the weather. I love that. Love that.
Right. True that.
She says, right, Tasha, my grandmother would throw her cordless phone down in mid-conversation.
Them old wise tales, you know.
Oh my God, it's something. Turn that TV off. Unplug that headset. Absolutely, you know.
Yeah.
Craig says, I think at times romance can come from weather. Being stuck in a house while it's raining with a significant other can be. Craig, we agree 1,000%, and those are the moments for me that stick with me, you know. For sure. And even from a friendship perspective, as I close out, I miss seeing my friend Tasha because living in the same city, it was so cool sometimes where if it was a rainy day, where we got us a bottle, we playing some YouTube videos and enjoyed the whole day just tripping. Or like Tasha said earlier, that's a great movie day. You know what I'm saying? To pop on some scary movies and shit like that. So weather is important. That I end the show on that I'm glad I did this because we're coming up on true fall and winter. Kenny's time, he gonna hate that.
Right.
It's my favorite time of year, my brother.
You know I do.
I know, you know, the comfort season is coming, but I definitely wanted to explore this, and we had a great time. Look, my brother, thank you for popping in, even though it was late. It's certainly we love to see the family. We haven't had a full host of the family, and I don't know when. The viewers, look, CC, super fan, love you. Thank you so much, Craig. Appreciate you. You add so much value. Demi J, thank you so much. You know, and again, sweetheart, what you're going through in menopause, get my prayers and empathy for that, because I don't know as a man, but I trust me, I pray, I'm hoping for you to come through the other side, and you know, hey, come here. You know, this is a place where you can unload, share with us. It's sacred. We love you as a viewer, as part of the family for sure. So she says, Mr. Black, Tasha Kennedy, this has been an awesome show. Thank you. So again, come back each and every time. So we appreciate you. So as always, we close out. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. We all know that we're rats on a hamster wheel. The weekend go by so quick. So enjoy the rest of your night. I know what my brother's about to do. Alabama's up.
Hey, these Packers about to whoop these goddamn Cowboys ass tomorrow night.
Everybody's
so y'all, if y'all better watch social media, because I'm gonna be showing my ass tomorrow.
Already know.
So if you follow me, y'all make sure y'all be tuned in. I'm gonna be showing my ass tomorrow night.
Hey, brother, let me share this with you. Went and bought me some blue crab.
Okay.
Went and brought me some snow crab legs. Okay. And I went and got me an oxtail plate and got me a rib plate. Tomorrow Ain't nothing stopping me from being positioned for that game because, like you, that is must-see TV tomorrow night.
Right.
Absolutely.
If you haven't followed me on TikTok, follow me, Kendrick Henderson 51, because that's where I'm gonna be. That's where I get my love on TikTok. I'm gonna be live on TikTok, 6 o'clock, halftime, post game. Kendrick Henderson 51. Follow me on TikTok because I'm gonna be showing my ass. Whether we win or lose, but we're gonna win anyway.
So ain't no way y'all lose that game, but God bless you. CC, Demi J, peace and blessings to the family. Appreciate you. Demi J say, will come. I need a sport. Baby, come back every time. Tasha, I love you, sweetheart. Thank you for coming in. Believe it or not, you made my night. You know, we started out with just me and McMac. We went old school. And again, we had this conversation. And so, Lynn, enjoy the rest of your weekend. And on a serious note, look, there's so much shit going on. I will tell anybody. I sent you all out, and anybody. I tried to. Demi J, we need to connect on Facebook. I had an inspirational little song I sent out to everybody today. It wasn't meant to be religious. It was just something that I said, pull out it when you need it. And ironically, it touched some people in the right moment. I say that and end by saying this. If you ever need somebody to talk to, please ping us. Come on the show live. If you can't leave it on the altar, pour it out in front of us. We're going to have some fun. We're going to be supportive. And if you actually need an ear to listen to, please hit me up. As much as I talk, I actually know how to shut the fuck up and listen as well. So be healthy, be happy, enjoy your weekend. Peace out.
Peace.